Right. Got everybody back? Anybody out there?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
So we'll finish today before lunch.
I'm not sure about before lunch, but it won't be too far after lunch.
Okay.
Right. So, more emergency equipment that we carry on the aircraft. If the aircraft's total seating capacity exceeds 19 but does not exceed 149, then we must carry one portable battery-powered megaphone. Yeah. And the megaphone is there so any instructions from the crew can be heard by everybody. Yeah. Aircraft seating exceeds 149, less than 200, then two megaphones. So anything up to 149, 149 up to 200, two megaphones. Anything over 199, then three megaphones. Yeah, so you can see it jumping up then. So anything over 19, less than 19, you could probably shout very loud and they can hear you. 149 up to 199, and then 199 plus three megaphones. Yeah. Megaphones not an approved item, but they've got to be serviced in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. And at the bottom of page 79 there, the megaphone stowage must be able to withstand an inertia force of 9G without coming loose. And bottom of page 79, stick your highlighter through. Yeah, so what's that saying? We're going to stick a megaphone in the aircraft depending on how many passengers we got. Depends how many we're going to carry, battery operated, and where we store them. That stowage has got to withstand a 9G force. Again, I don't know what's gone wrong with the presentation. There is a bit in the notes about handheld or portable fire extinguishers. And again, it's a stipulation, a certification requirement that a minimum number of handheld extinguishers is carried dependent on how many passengers the aircraft carries. Now, I think we went through this when we did fire protection, but it's repeated in here, so we'll just say, each extinguisher's got to be easily accessible and mounted so that we can get to it quickly, get it out of its stowage quickly. Unless it's clearly visible, its location should be indicated by a placard or a sign. Big sign, here I am, I'm a fire extinguisher. At least one extinguisher must be located in the flight compartment, or the pilot compartment as it says, and at least one must be available for each class cargo compartment. I'll go into those in a little while. Yeah, basically your classes of cargo or baggage compartment are accessible to the crew. So if there is a fire, they need a portable extinguishers that can get in and put the fire out. Yeah, at least one has got to be located in or ready to hand for use in the galleys. Each handheld extinguisher must be approved, and at least one of them must be a Halon 1211 type. Yeah. I don't remember seeing anything about passenger numbers, but know about the needing to carry a handheld extinguisher. One in the flight deck, easily located at the galleys, and at least one located in the passenger compartment with at least 31 and not more than 60. Anything above 62 and so on and so forth have got to be halon type extinguishers. Type and quantity of the others depends on the type of fire that's likely to occur. I think CO2 is probably the favourite one. Halon extinguishers been banned under the Montreal Protocol. Yeah, but their use in aviation has been authorised to continue until they can find a suitable replacement. Yeah, it's intended that all halon extinguishers are out of service by 2025. Again, I think it might have been a revision question, but the bit about the Montreal Protocol, just stick your highlighter through that. Yeah, saying that halons are going to be withdrawn from service. Your maintenance on your handheld extinguishers is just a good inspection to make sure that there's no evidence that the thing's been activated. Yeah, make sure that there's no obstructions on the way to the extinguisher. If it's got the contents gauge on, make sure that the contents are within limits. It says check the discharge nozzles not blocked or damaged. For checking for a blockage, you can just lightly tap it against a surface. Don't batter the 7 shades out of it, but just lightly tap it. And just make sure that the stowage will hold the extinguisher and it'll release quickly. Yeah. Not a lot else we can say about handheld fire extinguishers, quite frankly. Galleys, yeah. Galleys in the aircraft. The galleys are the kitchens, effectively. And that's where we're going to prepare food and drink for consumption by the crew and the passengers. Galleys, the complexity of the galley will vary from aeroplane to aeroplane. You can go on something like, I don't know what we've got at home, a thing called EasyJet, yeah, where they'll serve you with sandwiches and a cold drink. Well, you've got to buy them. Then you can go to somewhere like Fly Dubai, where you just get a very easily produced warm meal. Up to your large aircraft, where they've got a big kitchen and they're going to prepare a variety of meals and drinks. So depending on the aircraft type and the size of the thing, the number of galleys and where we're going to position them depends entirely on as the type and the passenger capacity. Little page in the notes just showing the different galley layouts. Yeah. Yeah. But again, convenience. Yeah. Most aircraft are flown on. Yeah. Galley at the rear of the aeroplane. Galley at the front of the aircraft. You'll sometimes get a little drinks dispensing place as well. This one's showing a cart lift, so chances are it's going to be a 747 type aircraft. Galley carts used to deliver meals from the galleys to the passengers, and the carts or the trolleys for taking away the empties after we're finished. Right, page 83, where we're looking at the ins and outs. Yeah, electrical power for the galleys supplied from the aircraft's electrical system. The galleys take a large percent of the electrical load. Yeah, so there's a galley master switch provided in the cabin to allow the pilot to switch off the galleys should we get an electrical failure. Yeah, it's obviously not vital to have a cup of coffee when we've got no power available. So we need to keep power for, as it says, the essential services. Some larger aircraft will have an automatic load shedding facility, so if you lose a Jenny, then it'll get rid of the non-essential stuff, and that includes your galley electrics. Each part of the galley is supplied from a different power source to ensure that not all services are lost during a power failure. Within the galley, your pre-prepared meals, they're on trays loaded into slots in food containers. Those containers are secured during takeoff and landing to prevent the doors opening. When we're ready, the food trays put in the ovens, meals are hot, then they'll be farmed out to the passengers. All the control switches except for the master located in the galley, and that includes circuit breakers. Hot water facility, we don't need to worry about that. Galley waste stored in a disposable bag stored under the workbenches, bag replaced at the end of each flight. You see them collecting all the crap in, putting the bags out ready for the ground people to take them away. And again, just a reminder that there's plenty of fluids floating around the galleys, and there's always the potential for spillage. So we've got to take the suitable corrosion protection measures. A couple of nice pictures of galley and galley equipment on the notes there, and you can see the securing latches to make sure that the doors are held closed, so during takeoff and landing the things shouldn't pop open and end up with stuff everywhere. There you go. Next picture, it's the one from the notes. You can see the latches, you can see the locks. Again, prep area, trays that are going to get put in the carts for shoveling the stuff about. And if you look just behind her, you'll see the emergency slide storage that we were just talking about. So that's nice. Anything else we need to mention there? Not really. Waste container, as it says, must be capable of containing a fire. We had that when we were talking about our diddly-doodah fire protection. Got to be checked every maximum every 72 hours, and got to be capable of containing a fire. Corrosion, we've mentioned. Putting the galley units in. They come as a module, normally latched into the seat rails at the bottom, and then there's little tie rods that will secure the thing at the top. Moisture collectors, so drains around the outside for any condensation that might build up, so we can duct away that. And there's also going to be quick release connectors for your water supply and your electrics. Ding, ding, ding. Corrosion, we did all that yesterday or the day before. Won't worry too much about that again. Your tie rods to connectors, your water connector, your electrics. Again, sealing attachments. Floor fittings, we mentioned those. Drain path, that we're going to plug into the aircraft drains, and away we go. So that's a very simplified version, but the galleys are modules, and they will be easy and I say simple. Be easy enough removed and refitted for maintenance or whatever, or re-rolling the aircraft. There you go. That's an example of a galley module getting wheeled into place. Just on his little trolley, your electric connectors. You'll have your water inlet there. Drain on the bottom. And your tie rods for connecting into the roof of the aircraft to keep the thing secure and stop it shaking about everywhere. Anything else I need to point out on that? Not really. The galley refrigerators. Yeah, when we talked the other day about vapor cycle cooling, yeah, that is an example of what we could use vapor cycle cooling for. The chiller units. Yeah, chiller unit is basically just a refrigerator. Easy as that. It's just a posh name for a refrigerator. Refrigerators in the galley known as chillers and supply a continuous flow of cold air through the galley. Cold air leaves that chiller about 0 degrees, passes through a duct system to the galley, and then it's ducted through to the meal trolleys where their stowage is. Only reason for doing that is to make sure that everything remains fresh prior to putting it in the oven. We can also use that cool air and blow it about the drinking water outlets, so we've got cold water to drink rather than lukewarm, which is always nice. Yeah, chillers may be installed under the galley floor. Cool air ducted through the floor, and after cooling's the required area, drawn back through to be cooled again. The chiller, as I said at the start, there is a small vapor cycle cooling pack. So another example of where we could use the VCCP. Yeah, just duck it to little things. Yeah, chill the air down, blow it around, and then pull air back out after it's been treated. That shouldn't be in there because that's not very PC. But those are your flight attendants, and those are the lovely ladies that come around and serve you your food and drink. Yeah, and very nice to look to. The trolleys, yeah, that's if Carlsberg did catering trolleys, that's what it would look like. Yeah, the trolleys which require electrical power are classified as controlled items. So they've got to be designed and approved by an approved organisation. All the trolleys similar in construction. It's just the internals that change. Cart used to carry preheated meals on trays, and they used the trolleys to lug your duty frees around and your drinks as well. So your catering trolleys. Yeah, that's a proper one. Yeah, with the little trays in. Yeah, containing the drinks, the sandwiches. Cups for drinking out of. Yeah, lockable door. As it says in the notes there are 3 types. There's a meal trolley, waste collection trolley, and in-flight sales trolley. Normally made from aluminium honeycomb, supported on a chassis fitted with little rubber wheels. Yeah, trolleys designed to fit between the seats on either side of the aisle so they can get the thing up and down. And handles at either end so they can push it or pull it, whichever's going to be the best. Wheels have brakes, so when the trolley's stationary, a red coloured pedal operates the brakes at either end of the trolley. Red pedal, brakes on. Green pedal, brakes off. Again, it sounds daft, but it's worth sticking a highlighter through that. Yeah. Red pedal for your brakes. Hold the trolley. Want to release the brakes, press the green pedal. Some trolleys you've got a cable that's attached to the chassis, and what they can do, it's a bit like a dog lead, and they just clip the trolley to to a point on the seat so that the trolley isn't going to move when it's in the aisle. So if they get to a point where somebody's collecting from the front, somebody's collecting from the back, they've got the brakes on. Sometimes they've got this little lead that they can connect. It says eye ends are fitted to the aisle seats for allowing us to attach. Cables incorporate shock absorbing strings. Don't worry about that. Trolley must not impose loads on the aircraft floor. In other words, they're limited to the weight they can carry. got to be stored and secured during takeoff and landing, turbulent weather. Weight of the trolley mustn't exceed the maximum stowage limitations. And when they are removed from their stowage, they mustn't be left unattended. Trolleys, yeah. Brakes on, brakes off pedal, little rubber-covered castering wheels. Your chiller inlet that we've just talked about, so the cool air going to get ducted through. Yeah, chiller outlet, so once that air's been ducted around, it can get pulled back and get retreated. Yeah, slots for your trays, and it says the dog lead clip. Yeah, just where you're going to secure it to the seats. I've got to confess, although they exist, I've never seen one of those used in anger. I've never seen the cabin crew actually tether a trolley down. Don't know whether any of you guys have. No. Trolleys go into storages in the galley. They've all got their own little compartments that they'll go in. Yeah, and again, your galley modularized. Yeah, with the various connection points. Your overhead tie, your water supply, your electrics. Control panel, that's just where they're going to switch everything on and off from. Floor mountings and your drain connection point. Not a lot else we can really say there. Trolley maintenance, is there anything I need to say there? Yeah, locks work properly, brakes work properly, not damaged, casters rotate. Placards got to be legible. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. No, the only thing that I can see there where, not that I recognise it as a question, but the only thing I can see where a question could be asked is checking the brakes. The brakes have got to be capable of holding a fully loaded trolley on a 7.5 degree incline, and that's checked every now and then. That is on page 89, fourth bullet point from the bottom. Yeah, as I say, I can't say I've seen a question on that, but just because it stands out from the page, I'd probably stick a highlighter in it just to be on the safe side. Just let Krishna in. Galley lifts, yeah. Again, some large passenger aircraft where the galleys beneath the passenger cabin floor, they can use galley lifts. I think this mainly referred to the 747, possibly the 380s. Yeah.
That incline I didn't understand. Incline means trolley incline or aircraft incline position?
Aircraft incline. So if the aircraft's at an angle, yeah, the trolley, if it's at an angle of 7.5 degrees, the trolley hasn't got to roll. The brakes have got to be capable of holding it.
It's a 7.5 degree aircraft incline position.
Well, an incline, yeah. If you've got the trolley out for maintenance, yeah, you can just put a little ramp up at 7.5 degrees and just make sure that the brakes will hold it. Doesn't have to be the aircraft attitude, just an incline.
And one question from here also I have about fire extinguisher class A, class B, class E and F. What is that?
I did say that I'd come on to that when we look at the cargo a bit later on in the lesson.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, there's different areas with different classifications, but we'll go through that shortly.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else before we rattle on? No? Okay then. Right, galley lifts. Yeah, some of the larger aircraft, as I say, possibly the 380, 747, used to have lifts to to transport the trolleys between the galley area and the passenger area. Yeah, the lift used for food trolleys, just due to the size of the thing, they're only wee. Yeah, so your galley area, you can prep your food, stick it on the lift, and waz it up to the flight attendants upstairs. Yeah, again, control buttons and a telephone, so you can tell Mrs. upstairs that her trolley's on the way up to her. Yeah, so yeah, your lift, hopefully what we've just seen. Yeah, the control panel, yeah, up you go. Yeah, motor switch, we'll come on to motors in a minute. Up, stop and down. And that's pretty much it. You're just going to wheel your trolley in, close the doors, podge the button, and send the thing up. Lifts independently operated of each other. So if you've got your two lifts there, yeah, independent. Guided on vertical tracks, which incorporate rollers, drive systems, 2 electric motors powered from the aircraft electric system. Each motor coupled to a common gearbox. Output shaft from the gearbox drives the chain wheel that'll drive the lift and pull it up and lower it down. Bottom of page 90. In the event of a motor failure, the lift will operate at half speed. Yeah. Again, stick your highlighter through there. So in our galley, yeah, you've got your 2 motors. If your motor fails, or if you get one motor fail, the lift will still operate, but it'll operate at half speed. Travel controlled by micro switches. Micro switches take the power from the motors when the lift reaches its limit of travel, its selected point. If the micro switches fail for whatever reason, there are mechanical stops that will act as a backup. Yeah, and once we hit those mechanical stops, the motor will try and drive and it'll stall. Lift controlled from either floor, up or down. Emergency stop button located beside the switches to stop the lift in any position. So yeah, things going up. Oh, need to press the emergency. So punch the stop and it'll stop. The directional switches will act as position indicators. So when the lift is in a particular position, the appropriate arrow will illuminate the lift has arrived. That again, I can't remember. I think it was a revision question, but page 91. Yeah. When the lift is in a particular position, the appropriate arrow will illuminate to indicate that the lift has arrived. So stick your highlighter through that. And what that's telling us is if we're sending the lift up, once it's arrived at its up destination, the directional arrow will light up to tell us that the lift is there. Same as if we send it down. Once it reaches the down position, again that down arrow will light up to tell us it's in position.
Which directions? Which this is this the when the lift is in a particular, the appropriate arrow will illuminate to indicate that the lift has arrived. This line we should highlight, Jim.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so as we said, in the event of a motor failure, the lift will operate at half speed. Yeah, we did that, and that's just showing the setup of the thing. Yeah, guide rails are going to, as it says, guide the thing as it's going up and down. Yeah, you got your electric motor that's connected to a chain drive. The chain drive is going to pull the thing up and down. Limit switches to limit the once we're at the end of travel, limit switches all click over, disconnect power. We're going to have manual mechanical stops there as well, in case we get failure in the micro switches. And again, there's not a lot else to say on there. Yeah, your panel, your door, instruction placard to tell you how to use the thing. Yeah. Yeah. 747. That's what we're saying. Lifts on those. Right, to prevent accidents with lifts, we're putting different safety features. Mechanical door interlocks, yeah, and the mechanical interlocks are an integral part of the door latches, operated by the vertical travel of the lift. The interlock automatically locks the door as the lift moves off and unlocks the door as it comes to rest in its new position. So again, make a note of that the mechanical locks, yeah, automatically locks the door in position as the lift starts to move off, and it unlocks the door as the lift comes to rest its selected position. Yeah, so that's your mechanical interlocks. The electrical interlocks, yeah, micro switches incorporated in the door frame, and only work when the doors are closed, and that prevents the lift from moving if the doors are not properly shut. Yeah, backup circuit in case you get a failure in the prime one. Yeah, and as I just pointed out, yeah, we've got the placards giving us instructions on how to work. So again, stick your highlighter through the mechanical bit and the electrical bit, just so we know that the mechanical locks lock the door. So while the lift's traveling, the doors are locked. The micro switches are there, and that will prevent the lift from moving if the doors aren't properly closed. Okay. And again, another example of your control panel, your directional lights. Yeah. This case, there's an in-transit light, so if the lift's moving, we've got an indication to say it's moving. Once we get to our destination, the directional light will illuminate. Yeah. Ready to go. Yeah. Doors, yeah, emergency stop button. Not a lot else to say there. Not a lot else to say there. And again, yeah, your lifts, control panel, intercom. Your dinner's coming. And the control panel. Anybody got any questions on galleys at all? No? Okay then. Right. Cargo handling then. Yeah. Cargo and baggage. Cargo and baggage compartments classified according to their approved use, separated from other parts of the aircraft using sealed bulkheads. Yeah. So the different areas sectioned off using bulkheads. Ventilating airflow and drafts through each compartment, normally controlled, and the reason for that is to reduce or prevent the spread of fire should the unthinkable occur. Yeah, so we're going to vent the thing, yeah, but we're going to have that venting in a controlled manner. Temperature control, we mentioned that the other day to prevent damage to your cargo, and lighting to allow cargo handling at night. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Yeah, so your aircraft, your cargo compartments, yeah, and cargo held in containers, and the containers shaped for a particular point in the aircraft, yeah. So the shaping of the fuselage, obviously, as we get down towards the rear end, going to start tapering off. So that the cargo container at the rear end of the aircraft is going to be different in shape to the one at the front end. But the containers themselves should have some identification on to show you where they're going to fit. We look at how we're going to manoeuvre the cargo, but again, we'll probably come across that in a wee while. Showing us how we're going to get the things in. Space between the cargo compartments and the fuselage skin is lined with fire-resistant insulation blankets. And the blankets, again, as we said previously, they're made from fiberglass material enclosed within waterproof envelopes, it calls them here, but waterproof bags. Yeah, so that's the typical cargo type aircraft with the containers, yeah, molded to shape. This one at the back, angled over, and then a pallet with netted cargo on it, tucked up at the front. So everywhere in its place and place for everything. Right, somebody was asking me a second ago about the different compartments. Yeah. Class A compartment, yeah, is one where a fire would easily be discovered by a crew member. Yeah, and each part of the compartment can be entered easily during flight. Yeah, a Class B compartment is where there's sufficient access to allow the use of a fire extinguisher in any part of the compartment without allowing smoke, flames, that sort of thing to enter the crew or the passenger compartment. Yeah, Class C says it doesn't meet the requirements of a Class A or Class B compartment, but has got a smoke detector or fire detector system to warn the crew. A built-in fire extinguisher system is provided, and that can be controlled from the cabin. Yeah, so your Class C compartment, you cannot get in there, but if you've got a fire, you're going to know about it because the warning system will kick in. Class A, oh my word, I can see a fire, yeah, I can get in. Class B, yeah, I can get in to use an extinguisher, but I'm not going to allow smoke and flames, anything like that, up into the main occupied area with the crew or the passengers. Class D compartment, yeah, compartment capable of containing a fire, smoke and flames, and where the smoke, flames, whatever, cannot enter the crew or the passenger compartments. Yeah, so that area will contain a fire. A Class E compartment, yeah, a compartment providing the aircraft used only to carry cargo. Hazardous quantities of smoke, flames, etc., again, are prevented from entering the crew or the passenger compartment. Yeah, smoke or a fire detector system is fitted to warn the crew. Operator's manual will specify the class of compartment for the various types of cargo. Each cargo compartment must bear a placard stating the maximum allowable weight of the contents, and a suitable means must be provided of restraining the cargo. One for your highlighter, next paragraph down. Transport category aircraft exceeding 5,700 kg MTWA, fitted with Class C or Class D cargo or baggage compartments of more than 200 cubic feet, must have the compartment sidewalls and ceilings lined with panels made from glass fibre reinforced resin. Yeah. Again, continuing that, aircraft certified prior to the 1st of July 1989 may continue to use aluminium alloy liners as they allow the compartments to safely contain a fire. Yeah, so that transport category aircraft, that paragraph and the one below it, stick your highlighters through that, please. Smoke detection systems, again, we're kind of hitting back on our fire protection module, but smoke detection systems normally installed to monitor the condition of the air in the cargo and the baggage compartments, where we could get a lot of smoke before we actually get the fire overheat warning. So detectors, sensors placed in locations where they're going to give the earliest possible warning. Yeah, so in this one we've got smoke detectors installed in the ceiling. This is showing one, but obviously they're going to be multiples. Yeah, smoke detector again. There's going to be a couple of those dotted about, but plenty of opportunity to give us warning if something's going to go wrong. Yeah, air from the compartment is arranged to flow through the smoke detector by mounting a detector in the roof of each compartment, or by passing air from all compartments through a single detector. If a single detector is used, then cabin differential pressure is used to circulate the air through the detector, and that indicator window that we talked about before is used. So what we can do, something this size, yeah, we can suck air from the compartment down through ducting, and the duct with different collectors on, and the duct will flow through a window, and that window will tell us which area is the smoke is being generated from. Yeah. Again, something like this, generally your smoke detector is just going to put on a warning light in the cabin, and again we'll have some sort of indication as the location. When a visual indicator is fitted, air may be drawn through the systems by means of an external venturi. Yeah, don't need to worry about that. Two types of detectors which use photoelectric cells in use. Yeah. And again, we saw that previously. Yeah, single cell detector, divergent beam of light directed towards a photoelectric cell, but there's a screen in there that prevents direct contact of light onto the cell. Smoke's present, light's scattered around the screen and falls on the cell, increasing its conducting capacity, and then that'll stick on a warning light. Yeah. Yeah, the other one, the double cell detector, yeah, detecting and balancing cells located in separate compartments affected by a single projector lamp. No smoke introduced into the cell chamber. The smoke will cause the increased light to scatter current flow in the bridge circuit. Again, don't think we need to worry about bridge circuits and all the rest of it. But the idea is we're going to pass air through the smoke detector. Yeah, generally the light that's passing through the smoke detector will wander straight through. If we've got smoke present, the light will be diffused, retracted, and the light will then fall on the photoelectric cell. That changes its capacitance or resistance or whatever it does electrically, and it puts on a warning light in the cabin. Test lamp, yeah, that we can shine directly onto the cell, so we can ensure that the thing's working. Yeah, so we're just going to shine a light straight on. Yeah, so just pass smoke through. Yeah, your beacon lamp. The light from that beacon lamp can't fall on the photoelectric cell, but if there's smoke present, the light will get refracted, change direction, fall on the cell, and it'll put the warning light on. Everybody okay with that? Must admit the picture we've got in the fire detector notes is a better one. The alpha particle smoke detector, yeah, where we've got a small radioactive source. That radioactive source falling onto what's the word I'm looking for? A receptor. I can't think of the right word. Yeah, that radioactive material, obviously, there's a current flowing with it, and so long as that current stays within its limits, it's fine. If we get smoke in the air that's passing around that beam, the smoke particles will reduce the current flow, and again that will put on a warning from the smoke detector. Yeah, again there's a test facility on the thing. And with all our smoke detectors, very limited on the maintenance we can do. Just give them a wipe over, maybe run a vacuum cleaner across them just to make sure they're cleaned out, and a press to test facility to let us know that they're working. Yeah, your visual indicator that we talked about before, the collector scoops, and the collector scoops running air up through the visual indicator. If we get a smoke warning, if we get a smoke detector activating, we can go and have a look at the indicator window, and we can see which scoop or which area has got the problem. So we're confirming the fact that there's smoke present. If there's no smoke present, the air that's being drawn through the system is just going to get dumped off overboard. And again, we've got a collector in there, the avionics bay as well, that can kick off. Yeah. Single smoke detector. Yeah. So as the air gets drawn through before it gets dumped off to atmosphere, it goes through the detector. If it detects smoke, that'll do its thing. Whoop 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 whoop, and go and have a look in the window. Yeah, smoke indicators provide the only means of smoke detection on a few aircraft, normally installed to verify that warnings given are genuine. Smoke present in any particular compartment drawn past the indicator window, rendered visible when automatic operation of the smoke detector results in illumination of a lamp in the indicator. Yeah, so your indicator, you're going to get a light illuminated at the back. If there's smoke in there, you'll be able to see the smoke. Test switch, we've got a test switch on there so we can show that the lamp's working. Yeah, and a little indicator to show that we've got air flowing through. Yeah, so pilot window just there to check we're working fine. System check, yeah, anything we need to worry about there? I don't think so. Yeah, just podge the switch. Yeah, we're going to get the light. Yeah, light in the smoke indicator illuminates any smoke in there you'll be able to see. Red light, not visible when air's flowing through the indicator, but when we press the test, yeah, we'll be able to see that. Inspection, yeah, not a lot to inspect for. Just a good look over. Security, obvious damage, air outlets not obstructed. Free flow of air through the louvers in the detector casings. Individual components checked for satisfactory operation. Your detectors, it's just press to test in it. Visual indicator, yeah, apart from the lamps, not a lot you can check there. And the pipes, just make sure that they're not bunged up. Again, we've done this, so it should just be a bit of refresher stuff. Yeah, your fire extinguishing system. Typical transport aircraft, the forward and aft cargo compartments protected by 2 fire extinguishers bottles, and in this case containing halon. Bottles located between the cargo compartments, so either bottle can be discharged into the selected compartment. Yeah, compartments, 3 spray nozzles in the ceiling, so when the extinguisher is activated, you're going to get a nice uniform covering of extinguishing agent into the compartment areas. Fire control panel controls the circuits for extinguishing system. Arming switches arm the squibs. Then we can select the bottle, same as we said the other day. So we'll arm the thing, ready to activate the squibs. Select the extinguisher. The squib will blow, yeah, and that will send extinguishant into the relevant cargo bay. If that doesn't satisfactorily extinguish the fire, I can select the number 2 position. Yeah, and that number 2 position is going to fire the squib on the number 2 extinguisher, and that then is going to fire extinguishing again into the cargo bay. Non-return valves to make sure that the extinguishing travels in the right direction, and the same for the aft cargo bay. Your number 2 extinguisher, fire that off, spray, spray, spray. Hasn't done the job, fire the number 1 extinguisher into the aft cargo bay. So we've got that cross connection. Should we need it? Yeah, squib test panel means we can check the squibs, make sure that they're okay without having to fire the system off. Some extinguishing systems designed to extinguish a fire in 2 stages. Initial amount of extinguishant sprayed into the compartment, and then the next lot is slowly released, and the idea is that we're going to keep a fire suppressed for about 30 minutes. That should be enough time to get us down on the ground. That type of fire bottle we saw it the other day. It's a container within a container. Yeah, the dual discharge type, I think we called it. But that's going to give you about 30 minutes protection. Yeah, extinguishers discharged. Extinguishant in the outer container flows immediately, and the inner one will leak through slowly. Yeah, not a lot else we need to say there. Yeah, checks, the inspections you're going to carry out. Just make sure that the linings are free from damage because they are your fire protection. The material that the linings are made out of, your glass fibre or metal, depending on when the aircraft was manufactured. Smoke detectors, make sure that they work. Your tie-down facilities got to be serviceable, secure in your cargo. Placards for the hold capacity and the maximum weight, make sure that they're there and legible. Cargo system working. Yeah, doors, door locks, serviceable and working and indicating properly. No rubbish in there, and it says check log for details of any dangerous goods carriage. We may need to inspect in there. Yeah, your dangerous goods. Yeah, again, you've got to be authorised to carry your dangerous goods. So, see, Fly Dubai have just been approved for carrying dangerous cargo. So, watch out for that one. If you got DC on board. Your cargo handling systems. Does anybody want a 10-minute break before we finish cargo off? Yeah, I think we'll do that. It's 11:30 now, so we'll just have 10 minutes. 10 minutes stretch of the legs, stretch of the eyes, and then we'll finish off cargo. And then we'll decide what we're doing about whether we're going to work through or whether we're going to have lunch. Okay? So just take 10 minutes.
Okay, Jim.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Jim.
Yeah.
So did you found something good for human factor for us?
For human factors?
Yeah, some essay questions.
No, I wasn't looking. Was I meant to be looking?
Yeah, last time I asked you, you said you will look.
I don't honestly recall the conversation, but
No problem, Jim. When you have time, please have a look.
yeah, just the essay topics.
Yeah, essay topic or some open questions. Because we are remaining with human factor exam.
Well, of course you didn't do it, did you?
Yes, we didn't did it.
Just give me 2 ticks.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Autotrend TV. I'm UV Prajesh again from Lakshmi Nissan Chennai today, and I'm here with the brand new Nissan Magnite entry-level
Did I give you open questions?
non-turbocharged petrol variant. This video is sponsored by Bootmo.com, the
No.
spare parts expert. Any brand,
Last
any
time I
model,
think
any
you have
spare
not
part.
given.
It was just launched,
Okey-dokey.
and the entry-level variant of the Nissan Magnite is officially the
You were
cheapest compact
scared of
SUV
coronavirus
available in
and you
India
ran
today.
away.
So here's a exclusive
Yeah, I
walk-around
did.
review of this
I've been
entry-level
in my house
Nissan
ever
Magnite
since.
variant. At first glance, this entry-level variant does not look bad
Yeah,
because the
I've
overall
got some
design
open
remains
questions.
exactly
I'll
the same
send
as
them
the
to you at lunchtime.
Okay.
Yeah. Essays. Leave the essays with me. I'll fire something to you.
top spec variant.
Uh,
The features, however, are watered down, and this car does not get
But
LED
pretty much,
DRLs,
if you
no
look at
LED
the
headlamps,
levels
and not even
for the
fog lamps.
questions,
Instead of the L-shaped LED
so you
DRLs,
already
you
come
get
from
L-shaped chrome detailing, and the
a
headlamp
subject
design
that's got
itself
the same
reminds you
levels for
immediately
Cat
of the
A and
Datsun
Cat B.
Rego. The good part, however, is that
so
the
if you've
large
got Cat
signature
A,
grille has not changed in
area,
terms of
and it's a
design,
different
and the
level to
chrome
a Cat
brackets
B,
are still
they
in
can't
place.
ask an
The
essay
bumpers,
question
however, do not get a dual
there.
tone finish. Instead, you get a black
So I'll
finished
see if I
front
can,
and rear skid plate. Moving towards the sides, of course, immediately you get to
dig
recognize
that
this as
out.
an
I'll
entry-level
try and
variant.
find
That's because
something
the lack
to
of
point you in the
wheel
right
covers
direction. I
or
can't tell you
alloy
what the
wheels.
subject will
However,
be. I've got
apart
no
from that,
idea.
the
But
proportions and design
I'll see
details
if I
remain
can't sort
exactly the
something
same
out.
as the top spec variant. These here are the 16-inch 195 section tires, exactly similar to those seen on the top spec variants as well. This is quite surprising because this engine is not very powerful and produces just 72 PS of maximum power. You of course get the Magnite
Everybody
badging
back.
on
That's
both the fenders at the front, and even this entry-level variant
10
offers
minutes.
full
Yeah,
body-colored
just
door
stretches
handles
the
and
legs.
silver finished
And
wheel
what we've got
frames.
to do
The
is
surprising
look
part, however,
at
is that even this entry-level
cargo
variant offers
containers
rear
and how they're
windshield
stored in the
wiper,
aircraft,
washer
how they're
and
latched in.
defogger, which
Some of
even
it we've
some
already
higher
covered.
end cars do not offer
And then a
on
quick
their
look at air
entry-level variants.
stairs.
The rear
And
fascia
that'll be
of
it.
this entry-level
Now,
variant
it's up to
also
you
looks very
guys,
good,
but I
and you
am
get
quite
4 reverse
prepared if
parking
you want
sensors on the
to
rear bumper. The
to
tail
work
lamps,
right the way
however, get
through.
LED-like detailing
Or if you want to
while
stop,
they are
have a
not
bite to eat, and then just do the last bits after something to eat. We can do it that way. I'm easy. So it's up to you guys.
not actual LEDs. So overall, from the outside, this entry-level XE variant of the Nissan Magnite
All right, and we'll see how we get on with cargo, and then we'll maybe just stop and have a break.
Overall. Well, apart from
Have
the lack
something
of
to
wheel
eat, and
covers
then we'll
or
just wrap
body-colored
everything off
ORVMs, you
after
won't be able to identify this as an entry-level variant. So let's
lunch.
just get inside this car now to check out the features.
Okay.
Yes, folks, I'm right
Brilliant.
now inside
Right,
the brand new
so,
Nissan
cargo
Magnite
containers then.
entry-level XE variant
Yeah, we said we're
with
going
the
to load cargo
non-turbocharged
into the
72
aircraft.
PS 1-liter engine. Now, this interior,
Most aircraft we're going to have
itself
special,
is
as I said earlier,
very,
we're going to have
very
special to
airy and
type
brighter compared to the
or
top spec variant.
specific
That's
to
because of
type
this dual tone theme.
containers for the
However,
aircraft.
when you compare with the
Those
patterned
containers
smooth surface over here on the
are
middle part of the dash
generally
on the top
referred to
variant,
as unit load devices or ULD. Yeah, it means a container with an integral pallet or an aircraft pallet, whether or not considered to be aircraft equipped. Yeah, those unit load devices are boxes shaped to the contour of the aircraft fuselage and maximise the available space in the cargo bays, and they allow the mechanical handling of the cargo as well. Made from glass-rim fibre plastic or honeycomb sandwich material, loaded through a metal door, and one side made of a curtain, and we can strap it all down after we've loaded up. Yeah. So your box, let's see, we've got the box, yeah, one side's open, got a curtain on it, we can load that up, put all the cargo in it, pull the curtain down, and then put a net over the front of it to secure everything. And then load it onto the aeroplane. Yeah, that's the sort of thing we're on about. Yeah, your sort of door, yeah, designed to the shape of the aircraft. It's going to be placarded to tell us what the weight is, yeah, and the location of the thing should be where it locates on the aircraft should be nominated as well. While this picture's up, that's a good picture of your rollers on your loading equipment. So now we can push the container onto the loading device. Yeah, we can spin it around to get it in the right orientation using the little roller mats. Yeah, so we're going to code the containers. Yeah. I think we just saw on the thing the coding that we get. Yeah, where it's going to fit. So the example it gives in the notes, they're going to be coded LD2, LD3, etc., etc. And that just means that they're going to go in lower deck, position 1, position 3, position 4, whatever it might be. Code and the maximum weights are permissible is shown on the side of the container. Yeah. The container's designed to work with the aircraft loading equipment. Yeah. Meet all the normal restraint requirements without the use of supplementary equipment, so we can lock them in place in the bay with the aircraft system. And once they're in there, they become it says an integral part of the aircraft structure. And there you go. Yeah, we can get the different containers. And again, pardon me, shaped to meet the fuselage, and then shaped to make the most of the available space. Not all the containers would be suitable for a particular piece of cargo, so we need to make sure that we've got the right container for the right cargo, and then we can put it in the right position. Your 747 freighter, just an example there of how we're going to put the stuff in. Yeah, where all the different containers are going. Yeah, and you can see that they're not all uniformly put in 4 down to 16. Yeah, nice and neat. 17 skew whiffed at the back. 3 and 2 and 1 different position, but again we're just utilizing the maximum space available. And again, we saw this picture the other day where you can see the shaping of the container, again contoured to the aeroplane, but obviously you've got your floor supports down the side there, so we lodge up nicely against the floor supports. Yeah, air from the cabin ducted down behind the lining, and that's allowed to circulate around the cargo compartment. Aircraft that utilise the area above the floor, the containers are specially contoured again to make the most of the available space. Anything I can say there? Just have a look at the quick notes quick. Cargo containment. CAA have got to approve the containers used to transport animals, cattle, horses, camels, that sort of thing. So with an aircraft that's carrying livestock, rather than putting them in a baggage container, yeah, we're gonna put stalls in the aircraft and put straw down for them and that sort of thing. But the stall areas are the containers for the aircraft essentially have got to be strong enough to contain the animals. You know, animals get frightened if they've not been sort of subdued, you know, with a little injection or whatever. Then we need to make sure that if they do get frightened, they're not going to thrash about, damage themselves, damage the aeroplane. Sedated, that was the word I was looking for, not being sedated. Containers for things like dogs and cats, again, we saw a picture of those the other day, and again, they'll be loaded. They're going to be strong enough to restrain the animal. We can lock them in position, and again, make sure that there's plenty of fresh air circulating around so the animals don't get stressed. Cargo pallets, yeah, so that was our containers, and we'll put things in for horses and sheep and goats. Pallets, flat trays, different sizes. Yeah, we can load the cargo onto the pallet and tie it down with and secure it with netting. Yeah, flat trays, various sizes, made from solid aluminium alloy or aluminium alloy honeycomb. Yeah, the core, it says, can be made of balsa wood or rigid vinyl foam. The tending to steer away from balsa wood. It's nice and it's light, but it absorbs moisture like a good one. And for cargo areas where you've got condensation and all the rest, if it's not sealed properly, the balsa will absorb moisture. So although it mentions it in the notes, we're tending to steer away from balsa. Pallets used to load packages, other loose cargo. To restrain the load on the pallet, cargo nets and lashing ropes used. Yeah, one method of attaching the nets or the ropes is to fit a seat track around the pallet and then shackle the thing to the floor. Special attachments on the cargo net fit into the seat track pallet. Seat track on the pallet, sorry. And tensioning buckles tension the net over the load. So around the edge of the pallet, yeah, we can put seat track, special fittings on the bottom of the netting, locating the seat track, and then there's a tensioner. We can just pull everything tight, and as you can see, it's nice and secure there. Hopefully, you can see the fittings that go into the bits of seat track that are around the edge of the pallet. Then once the pallet's in place, we can shackle that to the floor of the aircraft, or some pallets have fittings, so little locking gates, in fact, like that one, little locking latches can hook over and hold them in place. Anything else we need to say there? No, net attachments. Restraints, securing, containerised cargo system not available. Loads such as baggage have to be carried loose. Loads have got to be restrained, stopped from moving. Loose cargo may be carried in a cargo bay beneath the passenger floor. Loose cargo area usually provided under the passenger floor, even if the aircraft carries underfloor containers. And what we can do is just that loose cargo, we can throw it all in, yeah, and then just put a net across so that the stuff can't thrash up and down the aircraft, so we can net it off. Yeah, net clip down to fittings on the floor. Yeah, and again plugs in the ceiling. So again, if we haven't got the containers, yeah, we can segregate things up, and if we've got loose baggage, just put it behind a bit of netting. Yeah, that's the idea of the cargo nets, so we can segregate different areas. And again, the fittings where we can attach shackles to. And then there's the seat track that we'll attach the netting to at the bottom. And again, through your doors on the aircraft, we're just raising the cargo up scuttle it into place, and then we can maneuver it down the fuselage of the aircraft and lash it into place, lock it into place. Your net, form of a net wall that can be removed to allow loading and unloading. Net's attached to aluminium posts, which attach to the floor and the ceiling, and sockets provided in the aircraft. Spring-loaded plunger allows us to put the thing in, put it in and remove it. Again, I've got a picture of that in a minute. And then the net's attached by quick-release hooks to shackles, fixed to strong points on the fuselage. Yeah, so example of your netting, just latches into the points in the fuselage. These roof locators, just receptacles in the floor, receptacles in the ceiling. We just lock it in. The top of the pole is sprung-loaded, so it'll extend. We can pull it down and then just release it, and the spring will hold it in place. In this particular case, they've even gone to the trouble of putting a centre net down, but you can see the methods there. Yeah, your spring-loaded receptacle. Yeah, it's just a plunger. It'll engage with a fitting in the ceiling. Just pull down on the piston, put it in place, and let it spring back up, and that will hold us nice and secure. Locking pin at the bottom. Yeah, it engages. Quick release shackles on the side of the aircraft, where we can just clip onto securing rings on the fuselage wall. And again, your straps, we can adjust those, we can tension them to make sure that the cargo is nice and secure. Again, your little spring release that'll fit up into the socket in the ceiling. Your lashing post for tying your cargo net around, and your quick release hooks that are attached to the fuselage. Not a lot else to say there. On page 104, there's a nice picture of the cargo net actually in position. Again, you can see the rollers and the guides and what have you for shoveling the cargo down the aircraft. Again, just a netting. Yeah. Restrained it, put the net over, sitting on a pallet, attached to securing rings around the base of the pallet as opposed to the seat track type fitting. And then we can just lift that with a forklift truck and whack it onto the aeroplane. Loose items rolled on, tucked away in position. And then, as we've just said, restrained with a net, just to prevent it from moving about during flight. Ta-da! Yeah, your rollers, your restraint net. That's not a bad picture. Just showing how we can attach it to strong points. Yeah. Your cargo zones, what the maximum weight is, that sort of thing. Marked, so obviously a cargo type aeroplane, so it's all marked up for us. And again, the nets for restraining any loose stuff. Yep. Containers, your roll-out stops, your rollers for pushing the stuff down. And you can see the containers nicely shaped to the size of the and shape of the aeroplane. And happy students from AST. Your large aircraft, again, as we saw the other day, have probably got a mechanical handling system. System either moves full or half full-size containers from the loading doors laterally into the aircraft, and then on longitudinal tracks into the compartment position. containers moved, and then they're secured by latches. Page, what page are we on? 105. Yeah, again, it's just showing the stuff that we've already looked at, the roller mat type things, the ball mat with the big ball bearings, the end stops, and the end stops with a locking mechanism underneath, showing the cargo container locks there as well. Yeah. So the lateral loading system, I'll just see if I got a better picture. Yeah. I think that was just showing the electric loading system. Yeah, it was actually the loading equipment that caught fire while they were in the process of loading an aeroplane. That's why I put that on there. So when we're loading, we need to be careful, need to keep our eyes open, all the other good stuff. Yeah, the loader, yeah, self-contained. You've got one guy pretty much can load things up. He's going to have a control panel on the outer side of the aircraft, little joystick so he can control, but he can see where he's going to be putting the stuff. Each of the containers loaded on laterally, and then we're going to move it longitudinally to the required position. And this little thing, yeah, he can drive it backwards and forwards till his heart's content. What I was saying the other day about these things, though, around the cargo loading area, keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, they're very prone to damage around the door areas, where the cargo handlers they'll contact the aircraft structure, and then they'll leg it without saying anything because they don't want to get into trouble. So watch out for that one. Yeah, so lateral loading system consists of retractable powered friction rollers, which when raised contact the bottom of the container. Yeah, rollers rotate to drive the container laterally into the cargo compartment. The rollers are then retracted, lowering the containers onto small rollers, which allow us to move the container in all directions. This particular case, they're talking about a shuttle bar, yeah, which is just basically a bar that's on a chain, and we latch that under the container, and it just pulls the container into position. Containers secured by latches, which normally flush with the compartment floor, can be raised to lock the containers into position. And the retractable latches fitted in the doorways to prevent lateral movement of the containers. So as I said before, yeah, we can pull the cargo thing into position. We've got the rollers to power it along. We've got roller bearings to guide it in position. Some systems have this shuttle bar, which is just a bar that latches onto the container, pulls it down into position. Shuttle bar, just chain driven thing. Yeah, it moves the container longitudinally into its final position. We've got the guides that we talked about, that's going to keep the container going in a straight line, and then somewhere we've got the locks to lock the container once it's reached its final destination. Don't need to worry about that. Yeah, power drive unit. Yeah, the guides that we talked about, and the rollers that are going to allow the containers to move. Seat track, so we can lock the container in position when we finally arrive there. But additionally, there are locks as well that we can use. Container latches, we'll come on to those in a minute. Handling system used to unload containers. Yeah, we know about that. So controls for powered loading, unloading, latching systems located in a panel adjacent to the cargo compartment door, and allows one person to operate the handling controls and watch the loading or unloading operation. Again, the slide that's on the screen we saw the other day, just showing the guides, the roller mat, rollers for taking us down, power drive units, yeah, the big wheelie things. Your ball mat, yeah, again we mentioned that the other day, just allows us to manoeuvre the container, the powered roller that'll drive the container into position. Yeah, and somewhere along there we'll have the guides. The locks, once we're in place, yeah, the locks can be strung up to lock your container, or your in this case your pallets into position. Those are your locks. That's your container. Yeah, the lock will latch in. Container can't shift. Yeah, so it's in the locked position. Yeah, we can tip it down so we can load the cargo without damaging the locks, and then we can lock the thing in the down position so we can unload the containers. Roll-out stops we already mentioned. Yeah, we can roll the cargo over them, and then they'll spring up into position to prevent anything rolling in the wrong direction. That's your guide rail, little electric actuator that's just going to raise it or lower it. There is a manual reversion should the electric actuator fail. Yeah, and that's just going to keep the thing going in the right direction. Can't think of anything else there. Again, you can see your latch, yeah, electrically operated, but again we've got the electrically engaged, disengaged, or there's a manual reversion if you get a failure in your actuator, and then you stop. Right, we've got a bit on dangerous goods to do, and then air stairs. So what I think we'll do, we'll just have yeah, we'll have a bite of lunch there. It won't take long to finish after we've had something to eat. But we've been going at it fairly solid, so we'll have a break there. We'll come back at the usual time, just an hour. We'll finish off dangerous goods. We'll have a look at air stairs, how they affect us. We'll see if anybody's got any questions, queries, anything at all, and then we'll call it a day there, if that's okay with you guys. Give you a chance to have a read over the stuff, and then we'll have a big recap tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I'll see you after lunch at 1900. Okay with everybody?
Okay,
Okay, 1900. Cheers.
copied.
We can push them back so that they're tucked out of the way. They're not going to get into going to cause any obstructions. Then when the aircraft has landed, ready to go, we just slide them into the doorway, give them a shove, that unlocks them, and they'll, via the restrictors, they'll unwind and unlock. You'll notice again that we've got the handrails incorporated as part of the air stair, so nobody's going to roll off, fall off, hurt themselves. Yeah. Type of air stairs have the ability to have a longer reach than the type fitted to a cabin door. So they'll be fitted into the aircraft with higher cabin floor levels. Yeah. Types of air stair, unlike the door-mounted types, allow the use of airport-provided passenger steps when they're available. These will be used as a sort of backup. Yeah. Manually operated. The fold-away type that we've just had a look at, but we can draw them up. extend outside the aircraft in line with the crew door, 90 degrees to the aircraft centre line. Yeah, when the entrance stairs are folded into the fuselage, the stairs are pushed away, as we've just said. Yeah, that type of thing. The manually operated. The ones that we saw, pretty extreme height. They'd be kind of hydraulically operated. I don't think we'd be able to reach to tuck them up. They'd fold out automatically. Smaller aircraft have a similar sort of thing, but then we've got the ability to push them up. These ones, again, outside the cabin, yeah, and they're fold away into a recess just below the cabin floor. Again, handrail incorporated, so as we climb out, we're not going to break our necks. I think the 737's got something similar. Yeah, so folding the fuselage, let's put it in there. Open and closing system of air stairs kept under control by your counterbalance system with dampers. Yeah. What else are we saying? What about those? Yeah, another type of air stair. Yeah, form part of the rear fuselage. Your power operated air stairs, like the electromechanical or the hydraulically powered ones. Yeah. Electromechanical uses aircraft power supplies with the hydraulic system from the aircraft hydraulic pump, but has the option of using an internal DC pump. Powered systems generally have the air stairs mounted under the cabin floor in a compartment with appropriate drainage and everything. So, just for example, yeah, that one tucks away under the floors. It could be released by or could be operated by a pump. Because of the height of the aeroplane, you might get away with manually stowing that. We'll call it a powered one, just for argument's sake. So when we fold it up, yeah, it'll concertina into the recess under the cabin floor. Under here, there's all the drainage required. So if the stairs are wet, all the water is going to get drained away. Again, in the notes on page 112, it just shows you the example of the control switches that we're going to use. That's fairly typical. Yeah. And again, I've got about 300 pictures that aren't really relevant anymore. Yeah, your Saab 340, that's the mechanical, the tuck away ladders. Yeah, they'll fold up. We can slide them into place. The BA Super 111. Yeah. Example of their stops, and you can see the little wheeled bogie at the end of the steps to permit for movement when we're loading, unloading. What's that? 727, I think it is. Yeah, with the rear doors and the rear steps. Yeah, that's your little slidey ones that we were talking about. Pardon me. Yeah, so we'll slide the doors along and then just give them a shove, and they'll concertina out, hydraulically damped, controlled, and then depending on the height of the aircraft, the location, we can just push them back up again, and once they're folded up, we can store them. Kind of like that. You've not got a huge step down from the ground there, so we're quite canny manually doing those ones. Yeah, again, handrail incorporated, little wheel at the bottom. Away we go. Yeah, the 737 has got the stowage under the fuselage, under the cabin floor. Yeah, air stair control handle, so we can select them in or out. Again with a handrail Yeah, and once they're tucked away in a position, we've got the drains that we were talking about before as well. Anything else I need to say there? No, there's a couple of nice pictures of the stairs in the notes. Don't get too bogged down in that. We don't really need to go into specifics, but it gives you an idea of how they're working, yeah, and how they're gonna extend out. Obviously, the handrail will fall down. The last bit that I need to mention, and we've mentioned it so many times, is corrosion prevention. It doesn't mention it in the notes as a separate entity, but it's constantly mentioning corrosion. Yeah, and with this slide, we've got the example of the door slide mechanism. You can see people with their life jackets on. Unfortunately, half the aircraft's missing. And again, that was due to poor maintenance and corrosion. We cover it more with human factors. But it just goes to show, if we don't control corrosion, what dramatic effects it can have. Corrosion will get here, there and everywhere. So obviously good maintenance practice, mopping up spillage, inspection regimes, and removing that corrosion before it can get to a really bad state. Yeah, very, very important. Yeah. Areas, again, as we mentioned previously, around the toilets where people spill or don't aim straight, that's always another one. Yeah. Areas of doors, so that the water coming in, yeah, it's going to hit that partition. And generally the entrance and exit areas are going to be vinyl floor, lino flooring. Yeah, your galleys, we're going to make sure we seal around there. And it says the cargo area partition. Yeah. Sealing, yeah, make sure that seals are kept intact. Don't matter what the seals are. Be it hydraulic seals, be it door seals, weather seals, panel seals, whatever. Just make sure that they are in good condition. Keep moisture out, prevent corrosion. Yeah, and any spillage of any description, obviously we need to get that mopped up as soon as we possibly can. It says immediately, but sometimes that's just not going to be physically practical. But anywhere you can, get it done immediately. Anything after that, as soon as you possibly can. Yeah. Corrosion, yeah, it can sneak up on you at any point, any time. Real or photoshopped? What do you think?
Photoshop, maybe.
Photoshop?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of inclined to agree with you, mainly because of the shaping on the ground. You know, the speed of a fighter aircraft, it had been beyond that point before the thing started to separate. Whoever's done it has made a really good job of it. And the fact that the pilot seems to be missing, and in this one the canopy appears to be missing. So, yeah, and you've still got that field there. However, it's a good example. It's a good good discussion point. And that, guys, takes us to the end of cabin furnishings, which brings us to the end of module 11 for the mechanical side of things. Obviously, from Thursday, you're going to go on to the electrical avionic aspects with Ian, Big Ian Rayburn. You'll be fine with him. He's a good lad. He knows what he's doing. Just make sure, because he's Scottish, if you're not sure what he's saying, make sure you ask him. He's just got a bit of an accent, but he's not too proud. If you don't understand what he said, as you've done with me, just flash him, tell him, what do you mean by that, Ian? And you'll be fine. I sent some revision questions out yesterday, but there's a load of stuff in the back of the notes. It's well worth having a go through that just for your own benefit. Tomorrow, what I'd like you to do is, if you've got any questions on anything that I've covered over the past 3 weeks, write them down, and I will do my best to help you and answer any questions there. And we'll also go through the questions that we've sent out over the past few weeks. We'll just have a wade through those and just make sure nobody's got any problems with those. Yadav, once we've finished, I'll have a look, see what I've got reference module 9 and send those questions out to you.
All right, Jim.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else offhand. So unless anybody's got any questions for me, we'll call it a day there. And I will look forward to your company at the same time tomorrow. Yeah, it might not be a full day. It just depends how we get on, what happens with everything, what questions people have got. So if everybody's okay with that, we're a bit early, but as you saw, a lot of it was repeat information. I can only apologise for that. If you've got any questions, I'll say cheerio till tomorrow, when all the rest of the guys will be joining us, and I'll stay online for a wee while I'm doing other stuff.